Now, before I start the review, yes, I'm filming in my car. The reason I'm filming in my car is because, one, my family is home. Two, I really want to do a review on my favorite character, Edward. I really want to get this over with. You guys had voted for Edward. You guys want me to do Edward next after my Percy review. And I'm going to be honest, I'm happy that you all voted for Edward because I was really hoping that Edward would be the next character for me to review because, to be honest with everyone, I love Edward. Edward has always been my favorite character. I loved his episodes in the Brit Offcroft era, seasons 1 through 5. Don't really like the episodes as much in the new series. Edward Strikes Out is one of the worst episodes, and Saving Edward is one of the weakest. And I do not like the episodes in the Miller era. It just doesn't feel like Edward. I like the Edward episodes like Old Reliable Edward in the Brenner era. But but again, I'm very happy you all voted for Edward because I really want to do an Edward review. Now, the reason I'm filming my car is because one, like I said, my family is home, and two, I don't like to do a review video when I'm not home alone. Whenever my family is out, I will do a review video. I just like to do a video when I'm home alone without anyone listening to my voice or have my dogs interrupting when they're home. So, just want to let everyone know that sometimes there's going to be review videos where I'm filming in my layout room, or there's going to be times where I'll be filming in my car somewhere in the parking lot where I can get peace and quiet and without any interruptions. So I figured I'd let everyone know. Anyways, enough said. It's Wooden Rarely review time, and as you can see right here, I am going to be doing a review video on everyone's favorite character, Edward. You guys want me to do Edward next, and I'm really happy that you all voted for Edward. I really want to do Edward so bad after the Percy review video, so anyways, let's get Edward out of the box. That was easy. So, let's start off with his face. Now, I'm going to be honest with everyone, some people liked his face and some that didn't. I honestly don't know why they've given him, I wouldn't say a scared face, it's more of a surprised or a shocked face. And honestly, I just don't think it suits Edward for this model. I would have preferred to have him, give him like a happy, normal face. So I would have think that would have been better for him, but it's not a bad face. I really don't, I mean, I don't care. It's just, would I prefer like a normal, a happy face, to be honest. So let's look at the side view. Here's his details. Um, really good details here and there. I like the fact that there's like rivets on him. You know, it's a shame that in the Blubba era, season 23 and 24, Edward and Henry were never given details. The Steam team got it, but Edward doesn't. And that's very sad. Just because Edward and Henry are no longer the main characters of the Steam team, that doesn't mean uh, not to give them details. Just give them details. So it's really nice that they've given Edward some details here, and I like the details on the splashers too. I really like the wheel designs there. It's very accurate, and I like his coupling rods here. That's really nice to see that added on Edward. And for this windows, I just noticed something too. His fire glow is more of a dark red orange than light color. I think that's really nice on Edward. I'm trying to hold Edward, and it keeps rolling away every time I let him go because I'm filming him in my car chair. Honestly, he looks really nice. And then also, remember how I said that in the other video where I said I have a little mix on Edward? But after looking at Edward, he actually doesn't look that bad. And a lot of people say that he looks big. And honestly, I have to disagree on that. Honestly, when I saw Edward, I thought of the same thing. Yeah, I thought that he looked almost like James, but by looking at him, he actually doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. I mean, I mean, nothing's really changed about me. Like, nothing's really, my opinions hasn't really changed about James, because James's proportions is a little weird, and honestly, I still have the same opinion still about James. Like, his proportions is a little weird. Like, I would have thought that, I would honestly think that Mattel should have done a little better with James. Like I said, I still have same opinions about James. I think his proportions are a little weird, and I think that they could have done better with him with his length. But by taking a look at Edward in person, he actually doesn't look that bad. I honestly really like this version of Edward. Not better than Learning Curve, I'll give you that, but better than with the Wood version of Edward. I will give you that. But like I said, after taking a look at this length of Edward, he actually doesn't look that bad at all. He's definitely better than James, I'll give you that. But that's just me. So now, let's take a look at his tender. Now, it's a really good tender here and there, but the problem is, oops. Again, I'm trying to hold him without his tender Edward rolling off of my car chair, but I don't know. What? Like, this is really weird. There's like a weird big, how do I say this word? Like like this right here, this I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like how it looks. Like this, how do I say it? I'm trying to think of a correct word to say without making embarrassment in this video. Like this gap, this long gap right here is like so long, and I don't like that. That's just so weird. I never understood why. James's tender never had that. Never has that at all. So I never understood why they could have done the same thing with Edward's tender. Just give him the normal look. Like this weird long thing is, it just doesn't look good. It's just weird to look at it. So nothing else to say about that. I just figured I'd say that. So overall, what do I think of Edward? I'm gonna be honest with everyone, but I really like this version a lot. It's one of my favorite Edward models. I'm gonna be honest, it's actually a lot better than the James one, to be honest. That's just me. And honestly, I really glad to have Edward in my collection. It's so nice to have him. He looks so good. One nitpick is that I just think that he should have like a normal smiling face other than the shocked face, to be honest. So why did Mattel give him a shocked face? Honestly, I honestly have no idea. Just an odd decision making when it comes to making toys. Honestly, I think Mattel did a really good job in this version, and honestly, I'm really glad that Mattel is still making Edward and Henry to this day. Like when the wood version came along back in 2017-18, there was no signs of Edward and Henry, and it's like Mattel doesn't really care about Edward and Henry at all. But they did make the wood version not until in 2019 for Henry, and then 2020 for Edward and Toby. But those wood versions are just awful, like really awful. But this wooden railway version right here, I think it's amazing. I really love this version. Like I said, in the last video, I said I have a little mixed opinions about Edward, but by looking at him now, he actually looks really nice, and I'm really happy to have him in my collection. So that is my overall thoughts on Edward. What are your thoughts on him? Share your opinion in the comments below if you want to. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.